Facts First presents. This is what President Trump typically eats in a day. Donald Trump is the 45th President of the United States, and he is by far the most controversial president in the history of the United States. Anybody who reads the news knows everything about his policies and his controversies, but you might be surprised when you find out what he eats. This is what President Trump typically eats in a day. Before we get into our list, help us spread the word about Facts First by clicking that like button. Also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. And while you're watching the video, jump down to the comments and tell us if you were in the White House, what would you ask the chefs to make for you? Tell us in the comments. McDonald's. Donald Trump eats a lot of McDonald's. When the White House hosted the winning sports teams at the White House, one of the dishes that he served the athletes was McDonald's. While most former presidents served the athletes steak, lobster, and shrimp, the current president served McDonald's. He says his favorite menu item is the Fish Delight, but he orders most of the items on the menu. KFC. Many of Donald Trump's regular meals come from KFC. Not the healthiest option, but it does taste great. He tweeted a photo of himself on his own private jet eating a $20 fill-up bucket, which comes with plenty of chicken and 3 sides. In the tweet, he was eating his KFC with stainless steel silverware. While eating his KFC, he was also reading the Wall Street Journal and going over some very important legislation. Well-done steak. Like many Americans, Donald Trump loves a good steak. When he orders his, he orders it well done. According to his butler, Anthony Senecal, most of the time it looks like a rock on a plate. Studies have shown that overcooked meat can lead to memory problems. And I'm not going to comment on that. Taco bowls. During the presidential campaign, trying to win over the Hispanic vote, Trump tweeted a photo of himself eating a taco bowl at the Trump Tower in New York City. He plugged the restaurant where he got the bowl and added, "I love Hispanics." The taco bowl came from the Trump Grill, and when a food critic went to try it out, it did not get good reviews. He stated, "It's passable at best, mediocre at worst." No alcohol. Maybe. According to Donald Trump, he has never had a drink because his older brother, Fred Trump, died from alcoholism at the age of 41. Now, many people disagree with that statement because he has been photographed many times with what looks like alcohol. For example, during his meeting at the UN, he had a glass filled with a red liquid that appeared to be red wine. Burger King. When Donald Trump had his fill of McDonald's and KFC, he heads to Burger King. After a speech in Florida, he sent his driver to pick up Burger King for everybody in the group. He says he chose fast food because it was quick. After he won the election, the Burger Kings in Russia created a burger in his honor called the Angriest Whopper, and it was much larger than a typical Whopper. Man, I want one of those now. Pizza. Like most people, Trump is a fan of pizza. He doesn't eat pizza like a normal person, though. He eats the cheese and toppings off the pizza but leaves the crust behind. Meatloaf Sandwiches. Trump loves meatloaf sandwiches, and he appeared on Martha Stewart to learn how to make his own. Yeah, he looked a bit ridiculous wearing an apron and chef's hat over his 3-piece suit, but he loves his meatloaf sandwiches. While putting his sandwich together, he spent most of the time plugging the show that he was working on at the time, The Apprentice, and the sandwich looked almost passable. Diet Coke. When it comes to his beverage of choice while eating a meal, Donald Trump goes with Diet Coke. Fortunately, his favorite fast food restaurants serve Diet Coke. He's often seen sitting on Air Force One with a Diet Coke close by. Unfortunately, Diet Coke, or the ingredients therein, have been linked to health issues such as type 2 diabetes, a higher heart rate, and even migraines. Good thing he has a doctor on call all the time. Breakfast. Donald Trump admits that breakfast is his least favorite meal of the day. If he does eat breakfast, he says that he eats eggs, bacon, or cornflakes. Fine dining. There are nights when Trump likes to sit down for a meal in a fine dining restaurant, and he's famous for eating the same thing quite often. He went to a restaurant with Governor Chris Christie and called the chef out to find out what he ordered the last time he was there, because he wanted to order the same thing again. And subscribe for more.